Welcome to So You Want to Be a Rock Star. My name is Tammy Oakland.
I am Scott Wilson, and with us we have
Anthony Scornavaco.
whatever he said. Hey, guess what? The best way to make money in a band.
Easiest way, too, I think.
You think so?
I think so.
You like to socialize, though.
I do.
Yeah. So, merchandise. So, of course, you want to get paid for gigs. You want to get paid every way you can. You want to get your royalties registered. You want to turn in your live set for royalties. All this crazy stuff we'll go in depth about at some point. But merch, it's not hard.
You know, if you're out playing, if you're out socializing, what are you doing? You're gaining, as I call them, friends. You can call them fans, whatever you like to call them, but I like to build my friendship circle. And a lot of times, they want to support you. And the easiest way to support you is buy some merch.
Yep.
And that comes right back to the
So,
band.
yeah, you have a company, you and your wife, called...
Merchandise Magic.
Okay.
So we are a merch company that is dedicated to helping musicians make more money, gain more traction with followers, and overall just creating a real positive branding image for your band.
What do you think the best thing to do? Is it simplicity? Is it complexity? Is it big crazy stuff? Or do you guys help with those designs? What happens?
So, number one, you got to be noticed. So there are so many bands that I've seen out in the music scene where, you know, they've got a t-shirt and they've got it on a table. It's a black t-shirt on a black table and in a dark room, and they have nothing else going on to say, hey, we've got merch. You know, sure, they might say, hey, after our set, make sure you meet us over at the merch booth. A lot of times people don't know where the merch booth is, especially when you get into these larger clubs. You know, the merch booth is often tucked away back in a hallway near the men's bathroom or something where, you know, unless you got to go pee real bad, you're probably not wandering over there. So the number one thing I always say is make sure that you're noticed by everyone in the venue. You want to make sure that you've got lights. I'm a very, very big advocate of having neon lighting anywhere you have merch. Because what's the first thing you notice when you walk into a Las Vegas casino? There's lights, there's bells, there's whistles, everything going off, and it's kind of like a time capsule. Cut that out.
There's no cut this out. It's live.
So anyhow, you just want to make sure that it's easily noticed, because a lot of times bands will have their shirts up, and I'll notice no one will ever come by. And then the bands that do a good job of showcasing merchandise, they typically have a line going all the way to the stage a lot of times.
Gotta be
And
noticed.
if the band is there. So
That's very
after your
important,
set,
yes.
before your set, whatever, whenever you can be at the table, like, I want to go see those people. Oh, wait, that must be a band. You're a unit. You look like you're together. So they want to come see the people that are going to play the stage. If they haven't played the stage yet. But of course, after they go, oh man, that was awesome. I want to go meet those people.
Yeah. One thing that I always recommend is, you know, hang out at the merch booth before the show. Stay until the very last act gets off the show, and after they're done with, you know, signing autographs or anything, if you're playing with a big national headliner. Because the number one way to make fans from the get-go is to shake hands, say hi, and no matter what, offer someone something. You know, I don't care if they have no money in their wallet. I don't care if they have $1 million in their wallet. You want to make sure everyone walks out, because at the end of the day, when they get home after they've been partying all night, they fall asleep, they're going to reach in their pocket as they're doing laundry. They're going to pull something out, whether it's a ticket stub and it may not have your band's name on it. But if they really liked your band, they're going to want some way of remembering who you were.
A sticker.
It doesn't matter.
Speaking of, what is like a good idea of some items that should be on everybody's merch table?
One thing I definitely
He's reaching
recommend.
his pocket.
I know, right?
I got to
You
hide.
want to have some band
It's
pics
decent.
with the band name on them. So we
Okay.
have these little glow-in-the-dark pics, because how many times have you been in a venue and you're walking around during cleanup or something and you notice a little guitar pick sitting in front of the stage or something? We get ours done in glow-in-the-dark. This way, when the lights are out and they fall, people can see them. They can spot them. They can pick them up, stick them in their pocket. So we recommend that all guitarists play with a pick with their band's logo on it. So that's for you, Tammy. Another thing that I recommend is always have stickers ready. This way, you know, you get that young kid who doesn't have money. His parents don't want to go wait in line at the merch line. You know, hand out a sticker to everyone who comes
And
up.
it's got your scan code
It
on
does.
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, QR code.
So this, I think, is one of the most important things in the world, because a lot of times, bands will have the same name. There might be 50 bands with the same name out there. You want to make sure that they're going to your band's website. So if you scan this, it generates a QR code. This one specifically goes to our link tree. This way, if they're on Instagram, if they're on Facebook, if they're on YouTube, if you're on a completely different social media platform, this is a one-stop shop for everything.
And if you were
capture 'em all.
if you were promoting a single, you could make that QR code go straight to that single, so it's another rotation automatically. Whether I think they only have to listen to a few
Exactly.
seconds.
And a great thing about the sticker is, like you mentioned, somebody may not have the money to come up, but you give them a sticker, they're instantly like excited, they're a fan. So you've made their day.
Yeah.
But what do you do with the sticker? They're going to put them on their water bottle. They're going to put them on their computers. They're going to put them on the back of their cars. Let me tell you what, there is nothing cooler than driving around a city as a band and you go, oh, there's our band sticker on the back of a car. So it's a great way to people go, what does that mean? What does he turn them and get people talking?
And you can listen to Lionel Richie Stuck on You after that.
Absolutely, you really can. It's you and me,
Excuse
baby.
me.
We're
That's
stuck
right.
on- Well, that's
Yeah, see how this goes. But you got this is your band, of course.
Yep.
I do know your band. I'm producing the record, so
Posters.
they're posters.
Good one.
Good thing to sign. Good thing to where you're going to remember, and of course promoting the show with posters, so that you get more people there, so that you can sell more merch and make more money. All of that is good stuff.
That is one thing that I've noticed that bands have kind of failed to do over the last, few years or so. Ever since social media blew up, everyone's always just, they're advertising on social media and that's it. They're not going around, they're not pinning flyers up at all the
Yeah.
local watering holes.
The
They're not
lost
going
art.
to the mall.
Yeah.
But, if you go back to the 90s or before then, you'd go on a street corner. Like, I grew up in Chicago, and there's music venues everywhere. Every telephone pole, you would see concerts
Flyers, yeah.
Yeah.
stapled up to telephone poles.
Be
and
careful, they
whatnot.
don't let you do that in some places.
Yeah, check
Yeah.
your
Check
local
your
laws on
ordinances.
that. But yeah, so and another thing that my band does this as well is you'll take an old drum head that's used, it's garbage, right? And then they drew the logo, everybody signed it. A lot of times we would draw funny stuff on there, whatever, just something to appeal to people. And you know what? It's garbage, and sometimes you can sell these for, on our table, they're about $80. So depending on where you are and what you're doing, that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it is very
It really
cool.
is.
And original. There's only
Yeah.
one.
That, and not only is it cool, it's also free because you've already gotten your use out of it. So you're not having to go place an order specifically just for drum heads to sign them. So it's something that you can then recycle to fund more drum heads.
Yeah.
if you
Right.
need it.
Or play frisbee with it.
Yeah, frisbee. We use them as plates for our ramen noodles because
There you go.
we eat like rock stars.
Multi-purpose.
There you go.
I love it.
I love it. And so, t-shirts, of course.
This is a big one. Yeah.
How many designs? What are
and
your thoughts?
sizes
Oh, yeah.
and go through
It
the
gets-
whole gamut, because some people think that I'll just throw a t-shirt up and be good.
So, what I always recommend is you never want to have just one T-shirt design. Bands, especially on the smaller local level, are notorious for just having a T-shirt with their band logo, and that is it.
Yeah.
You are completely putting yourself into a corner with that, because the people who really, really like your band, they're not just going to want the logo design. They're going to want something similar to like this, where it's a
Yeah.
full graphic design. And then, if you have multiples, then instead of just selling one shirt for $25, you might sell two for $50. So I always like to offer any sizes from extra small through 3XL, because that is going to be the majority of your clientele. Typically, if you're a band ordering merch for the very first time, I recommend you focus mostly on larges, extra large, and 2XL, because that's going to be the medium clientele. You're not going to get a whole bunch of extra smalls. You're not going to get a lot of 4XL longs or anything. So you want to kind of see what your demographic is. Like, we know that our demographic is primarily people within the ages of 16 to 35. So we focus more on mediums, larges, and extra larges than any other size, because we're not, going to biker bars where you might have a 500-pound biker or something
Yeah.
who's interested in you. Most of our clientele is relatively younger, so we look at the demographic, we look at the type of people who might be buying our merch, and we try and appeal to them. So all of our shirt designs are on a black shirt.
Well, and something that I know that I've learned from other designers, and I know you're an expert on this, is you can do shirts that don't necessarily have to feature the band name. Like it could be just a small, hey, here's our website, or here's a whatever, or just a QR code where people scan it and want to know what it is.
Yep.
But the design, like this design is really, really cool, and everybody's got different flavors and tastes. But, even though that is the band name, doesn't have to be. It could just be the cool design and then just written small. So whatever your flavor is, I guess, and what you're appealing to and what you're trying to do.
Well, exactly. Because like if a couple's walking up, so I'm there with a guy, like I'm going to have a completely different taste than the guy that I'm with,
Absolutely.
and we can buy, you just got 2 sales because you got a shirt that, speaking of, a shirt that appeals to a woman. And so, I mean, you got your large, your whatever, but maybe get something for the girls too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one thing we do, because my company does do a print on demand, we typically will bring in V-necks for the ladies, we'll bring in crop tops, we'll bring in ladies tank tops, we'll have unisex tees for everyone, we'll have hoodies, crop hoodies. We like to offer a huge selection. This way we have the ability to sell possibly 10 garments to one person. So, when you're starting out, you don't have to start out super huge. I would say definitely go with 2 designs. Have something in the lower price point that's $5, then you want to move up to something that's maybe $15, and then you want to have something in like the $20 to $25 range, which is typically going to be your shirts, and then $40 range, which will be your hoodies, just because they do cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I've seen your band's merch booth, and it's extensive. It's big.
It's nice.
Yeah, they've got everything from
#goals.
Yeah. From stickers all the way up to $100. They usually raffle off a guitar.
Yep.
So, Anthony is an expert on this sort of thing and has put a lot of thought into it and consulted with a lot of people trying to figure out the best way to do everything. And you're doing a great job of that. So thanks for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Heck yeah. It's awesome, man.
Cool. All right. And if you have any questions, you want a topic that you want us to discuss, you can reach out rockstarmicdrop@gmail.com.
Drop, he says.